We got fucked up on brown noise.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Clonecast. We're doing episode 2. I'm so excited to dive in. We're actually changing things up a little bit this week. So I was going to talk about Cody. I still am going to talk about Cody. It's going to happen. Just having some trouble finding people to come on and talk about Cody with me. So if you know anything about Cody, or if you like Cody and you want to come talk about him, let me know. So now we're going to be talking about season 2 of The Bad Batch, specifically The Outpost, the newest episode, which is season 2, episode 12. So I have some really awesome people here to talk about it with me today. Of course, as usual, I have my producer / co-host, Luke. Hello. What is that?
Wow. For any sale, use Pod Ones. And it helps.
If you want to sell, use Pod Ones on Level of Savers.
Actually, don't. I mean, you can, but I just don't know how to promote things. I'm not very good.
Are you promoting things on my show?
Hey, Daddy's got to make money somehow.
It's fine. Shut up. Okay, and then up next, for our next guest, we also have another host of the Pod Ones podcast who we love and appreciate, Hereth.
Do we love him and appreciate him?
That is the real question.
Yes, we do.
Also, you should use code TheyFlyNow and not get Luke money and give me money.
Don't use that piece of shit fucking code. That fucker doesn't work anymore.
It works.
See ya!
Okay, but also, when are we getting a Clonecast code? When?
Yeah, I've talked to Master Allen about that.
Just kidding. I will. I'll hit up Alan. We'll talk.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And for our last, but certainly not least, guest at all by any means is Alanis.
Sup, besties?
I think that's just a perfect way for you to come
trademark.
in.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I honestly should fucking trademark it.
You should.
Alanis does own Bestie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, at this point, like, just
Right.
I wonder how much that trademark would cost, though.
More than I will ever make.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a singular word.
More
There's
than
not
I will
much you
ever
could
make.
do.
Oh no.
Maybe I could trademark "Hi Besties" because it's a
Hi,
phrase.
besties.
Hey, besties.
Probably.
It's hey besties, like that.
One
Alanis trademark coming when.
Alanis trademark.
I mean, that's
/
the next. That's
podcast.
the next. That's the next.
That's the next
thing.
step.
That's the next step
Yes.
in this whole like channel growth thing. Is getting trademarked
Yes.
on sayings from personalities on this channel.
I'm gonna trademark fucking Feral Remy.
Yes,
And
you
then I'm
should.
gonna-
Yeah, you
And then I'm gonna
should.
get that fucking bitch who stole my name on Twitter banned.
Especially because
Oh,
of the Remy Farrell count tracker,
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
you need to.
which
trademark-
by the way went up to what 15.
I think that's what it's at.
I
Sounds
mean,
about right.
I still think the
Yeah.
best one is when in episode 11 she goes and it was right before I even like put 2 and 2 together, and then I saw the goo on the hand, and I was like, right? didn't even need for
Remy's
her
like
to say
saving
it.
that screenshot for later.
Using this as a picture to my fanfic.
Screenshot. Go into the bedroom.
Oh Jesus.
Anyway, welcome to Clonecast, where we talk about the clones and we're absolutely respectable and we love.
Oh, couldn't say that with a straight face, could ya?
Okay, but I mean, we do love them and
Yes.
we do respect them, but we're just also horny for them, so
Yeah,
it happens.
it evens out.
Exactly. Okay, so we're going to talk about The Bad Batch season 2, and we're going to dive in on kind of how we're all feeling this far. I know Alanis very much wants to talk about The Outpost.
I do.
Very
think-
much so.
So here's my thing. I won't lie. I, up until the Outpost, was not feeling this season very hard. Wasn't hitting in the way that I thought that it was gonna hit. I don't know. It was very
Yeah.
weird. And I kind of went into the Outpost with like such low ball expectations. Then by the end of it, I was like screaming, crying, throwing up. And I'm just a little bit bummed that it took until now
Yeah.
to like get me
Yeah.
that. I almost wish that they gave me like the Cody episode later on.
I was thinking the same thing too. I really thought that Cody was going to show up a lot later in the show than he did.
Yes.
It took me by surprise, honestly. Like I was like, oh fuck, okay, we're here. Which I mean, I guess if they do have more in line for Cody, like more for him to do, if we're gonna see more of him, then it would make sense. But since we haven't seen more of him or really heard anything else about him, it's kind of weird that they threw him in that early.
I have so many predictions about Cody.
Oh shit.
I feel like we'll get to them, but I think also why I really like the Outpost so much was falling in line perfectly with what I wanted what I wanted to happen this season. So when I saw like the ending, I was like, I'm a prophet. Like that fucking TikTok sound, like prophet, I prophesize. I'm like, that was me. Live footage of me.
That's actually a really good way to start. So, what was everybody's predictions for season 2 if you had any? If
Death Trooper Crosshair.
Okay.
I said Cody dying, but that still could happen, so I'm totally not wrong. But I'm also wrong about Cody's, because I thought Cody's gonna stay loyal to the Empire, so that was completely way off the money. But Cody potentially dying is still on the table. Sorry, Danielle, it's right there.
My predictions were that Crosshair was gonna pretty much just do his own thing, and the Bad Batch were just gonna be like, okay, we're gonna have fun adventures, and then get into entanglements with the Empire, which they have. I did not think the Zillow Beast. That shit was exciting.
That was wild.
Yeah,
that
was wild.
That
you know what was
wild.
so crazy about that? So the day that episode aired, it was actually one of my like students' birthday, and I was like, do you want to like watch Bad Batch like during like lunch? And they were like, yes. So we were watching it, and like on like my huge like projector screen, and the scene came like, you know, the Zillow Beast came on screen, and I literally said out loud, I'm like, there's no way that's a Zillow Beast. And then my kids were like, oh no, do we think it's like the Raptors or whatever the fuck on Han's ship in Force Awakens? And I was like, I don't know, it doesn't look like that. I don't know. And then I saw the electricity, and I literally slammed my hand on my desk. I was like, no way. I'm like, Dave Filoni finally got his Zillow Beast ending.
Well, in the fact that fits in, because Hereth had it doesn't. He has a conspiracy theory.
I had a conspiracy theory. I said it on Diet a year ago.
It's not had. It's
I
had.
had.
It's still relevant.
It's still relevant, but I came up with it a year ago, so it wasn't. I was a real Zillow Beast Snoke apologist a year ago.
Yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, go back to episode 11, Bad Batch reaction towards the end. It goes on a whole. You actually get to hear me read from a book, which doesn't happen very often. It does have pictures though, so it kind of downgrades it. Unfortunately,
proud of you. No, that's okay.
Okay, Gaston.
Yeah, we're upgrading his Lexile level, people.
Yeah.
Before we know it, he'll be on to like the chapter books with the real big font. We're getting there.
Hey, Magic Treehouse. If we don't read Magic Treehouse, I will riot.
That's all right. We can start there.
Those books are epic.
You want a Babysitter's Club thrown in?
No.
Fuck yes.
Wait, Junie B. Jones? I could do Junie B. Jones. Love Junie B. Jones. Oh my god. Another prediction that I had is that well, now that we know that there is more seasons, because I didn't know if that was really going to be a thing set in stone, I was kind of predicting that we would, if we didn't get a season 3, that this would be the Bad Batch's demise, and Omega would be the one that is the only one that makes it out, which is still my series prediction. I don't see any of them making it out alive except for Omega, because she is useful to Palpatine's plan.
See, here's the thing. For a while, I did think that. I did, dead ass. But the more that I think about it, the more that I don't think that will happen. Only for the mere fact that it is like marketed to kids.
But
do I think every member of the Bad Batch is making it? No. Rip Echo. But
Rip Tech. All of them are.
Remy, there's one behind you that I'm more concerned about being ripped.
I mean, he is on his knees as of right now, so.
Taken
from last week's episode, Rex's favorite, or Remy's favorite Rex quote. Get on your knees.
On your knees.
Yeah.
It's a good quote. It's a solid quote.
But I don't think every member of the Bad Batch is making it out. But I can honestly see them closing it up with them just fucking off to a moon, like almost like Rex in Rebel style. Because if you think about it, had the Ghost Crew not gone out to seek Rex and Wolf and Gregor and all that, they would have stayed on there. You know what I mean? They would have died. And that would have been the end of them. The only reason why we got them reintroduced was because they were sought out. And if all of the records of Clone Force 99 wind up being erased in some way, who would go out and find them? You know what I mean?
Well, Rex.
Like,
that would be the logical.
Right, but I mean, if they're like, we don't want to be contacted, like, we've lost so much, I do think Rex would respect that.
I just don't.
But it's a way to not kill them and make it still coherent with the rest of the story. I don't think that killing is the only way to make things cohesive. It worked in Rogue One because that's the only way that they really could have done it and it made sense. But I think with the Bad Batch, it's a different story. I think they could easily explain their presence away because they're not integral to the main storyline, whereas Jyn and Cassian are to the Skywalker saga.
I can see that, but I think you're wrong, but that's okay.
I definitely agree with you, Alanis. We actually talked about this.
That's because you want them to stay alive, okay?
Okay, well, yes, but also, genuinely speaking, like from a non-person who's obsessed with the clones point of view.
How are you going to do that? The impossible.
I said it on I think it was the Outpost whenever we were talking about it and talking about how it was just it wouldn't make sense for Rex to go find the Bad Batch and like stay with them during the Rebels era because especially if he had Wolf and Gregor and other clone brothers that now we're seeing go with him, it just wouldn't make sense for him to go back and find the Bad Batch, especially if they did tell him like, hey, we don't want to be a part of anything anymore. Like, we don't want to do this. Because honestly, that's been fucking Hunter's goal from season 1 is he's like, I don't want to fucking do this. And everybody else is like, well,
we're doing
it.
How are we gonna feed everybody? That's Wrecker's #1 thought.
Literally.
Where's Lulu? And where can I get something to eat?
I just love how non-existent Hunter's been this entire season. Hunter's just been there, and everyone's just like doing stuff. He's just like, I guess I'm here.
I think they're saving Hunter. I really truly think that there's going to be a huge Crosshair Hunter moment, genuinely. And I think they're really saving Hunter for that. I really don't think we're going to conclude the season without having at least 1 to 2 more like Hunter moments.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I definitely agree. I do love that they are focusing on tech more this season.
Yeah.
However, I do wish that we got to see more of Wrecker character development too.
Goddamn right, because that's my boy, and I want to see him all fleshed out. He's not just the fucking bronze.
Like, he's not just the himbo of the group.
He's the lovable guy that knows emotions. Okay?
We need Wrecker to go through his grog arc, okay?
Yeah.
I do need Wrecker to go through his grog arc. Give that man a fucking beard, not a mustache, a beard.
Yes.
Wrecker with the beard, instant. I think Wrecker moves to #1 over Hunter with a beard.
Probably. Honestly,
I'm telling you,
I love Wrecker. He has a very special place in my heart. But I would love, and I mean, I love that they're giving character development this season. I know some people don't love that they're giving more character development, but I am a sucker for backstories and people. I want to know more about them. I'm like, I don't know enough. Tell me who they are. Dive deeper into things. So I love all the information that we're getting and character growth that we're getting from all of the characters, but I would definitely like more to focus on Wrecker at some point since everybody else is getting some. He's not getting any.
Here's a wild conspiracy. So let's say the Bad Batch does make it out, okay? Everybody makes it out intact, right? Second Death Star plans. Bam! Bad Batch. And then that's how they die. They're with Bothans.
No.
This is just a big conspiracy.
I
No.
have a better hypothetical.
Okay, here we go.
So we all know that I want Cody to die. But
I don't think that is a.
I love how me and
I
Alexa
don't think
are
that's
down
a
here being like,
stretch at all.
Hear me out. This is about to get a tiny bit Pepe Sylvia. Just a little bit. So end of the episode, right? Crosshair's obviously being tested on. Everyone thinks he's being interrogated. No, I think that motherfucker's being tested.
Yeah.
And a lot of like my original thought was in the next episode or episode after, it was going to be revealed that when Cody went AWOL, he was getting those tests done to him, turning him into, you know, Death Trooper, whatever.
Oh fuck.
Oh,
That was one of my predictions. It's still high up on my list. My second one that I've been thinking about more is we see, you know, the camera pan out and next to Crosshair is actually Wolf. Because Wolf is fucked in the head, right? When we see him with Rex. And, you know, he says that like the Empire messed with his head, right? There you go. So
that makes sense.
I think where the reunification of the Bad Batch and Crosshair happens is Crosshair doesn't reach out, Wolf does. And obviously Rex is with Echo. Echo's like, oh shit, maybe we can figure out what the fuck's going on with Crosshair. They meet up together, they go, bust him out, and then we can maybe have that Cody Rex thing, especially if he is already the Death Trooper that I want him to be.
Wait, I still get my theory of Rex killing Cody.
I'm still team Rex kill Cody. I will always forever be Rex kill Cody. If a character is being murked, I want it to be in the most irresponsibly cruel way.
Emotional damage, all of it. Yeah.
That's what I said. Like if Crosshair was dying, it needed to be by Hunter.
Yeah. 1,000%.
Firmly believe that. And other way around.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my current prediction. If anyone wants to weigh in.
No, I love it, first of all, because it does involve Wolf.
I'm
so excited.
I like the fact that we're like, oh yeah, second episode, Cody. And then it's just like, no, it's us just bashing Cody.
Oh no, literally.
We kept the promise. We're talking about Cody.
Hey, we talked about him.
No,
He's
fuck
there.
Cody.
We're still talking about it. I mean, but here's the thing. Everybody, as soon as we all knew that Cody was going to be in season 2, I think collectively as a fandom, everybody said, oh, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because he's here.
Remy, I want to know your opinion on this because I kind of am sort of getting mixed emotions on it about a lot of these clones turning against the Empire. And I try to think about it in the grand scheme of things as of the Bad Batch is showing us a very small percentage of clones that are turning away, and the vast majority is still like Empire. But I see a lot of people online being like, oh, I hope Cody leaves with Rex. I hope Cody leaves with Rex. And in a way, I feel like that is one of those things that is turning the significance of, you know, Order 66 down, with all of these Jedi surviving. And then, you know, we have clones like Mayday now. And even, you know, briefly Hauser as well. And I feel like I obviously I love the clones being happy and seeing that the Empire is shit, but I wish we are kind of seeing more of that inner struggle that we're seeing in Crosshair and other clones.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, especially whenever it comes to Cody. Like, I feel it was a little bit of a write-off on what they did with him. Like, he had this little moment with Crosshair, and he's like, this sucks. And then the next time they're like, he's gone AWOL. And it's like, wait, what? Like, because I think that's one thing that does make Crosshair so imperative and important to the story is because we get to see his struggle of good soldiers follow orders, but his chip, even if he does still has his chip, it obviously the effects of it have worn off now as we've seen other clones. And so he's still fighting that mindset of I have to do this because this is what I'm supposed to do. But now we see him like obviously missing his brothers, doesn't want to be a part of this anymore, is seeing how fucked up it actually is. And so I would love to see more of that in other clones, and especially with Cody, because of how dedicated Cody is as a commander. He is so dedicated. And I feel like that wouldn't have changed whenever he did join the Empire, just because that's genetically modified what he was supposed to do. Like he is just commanding and is supposed to follow orders and protocol. And we'll talk more about him like on the next episode, obviously, but whenever I've been doing research on him, that's one thing that I learned the most is like he's a very dedicated soldier. And for him to just step out of the Empire as fast as he did, a little bit
jarring. Which that's why I thought he was being taken for testing. That to me is a very easier way to explain what they did with him. Like, they got a scent of treason in him, and they were like, well, we might as well get the testing done. Who better? So I really do think Cody is in that facility. And if not Cody, at least Wolf, because where the fuck is Wolf?
Yeah, where the fuck is Wolf?
Yeah,
why haven't we seen Wolf yet?
I feel like that's a. Oh, go ahead, Hereth.
I mean, it's classic Bad Batch. I mean, we joked about on the reaction is they'll drop a hint of a thread and then just drop it for like an entire season. Be like, what? We can't trust Sid. Oh, we're never gonna touch that again, I guess. Oh, where's Wolf?
Yeah.
Oh no. Where's Crosshair? Oh no, he's off like for 11 episodes doing nothing. It's like, I love the Bad Batch, but like it's such an up and down season.
Yeah, it is, to me, very reminiscent of the Clone Wars in that sense where it's very like episodic.
Yes.
And you know what? For the longest time, I was like, I love that about the Clone Wars. But I think for so long, since we were having more of a continuous storyline in Andor, Rebels, even Kenobi, and then to kind of switch back to that with Bad Batch is kind of a little bit jarring. But I also kind of like it because it's like very connected to the Clone Wars in that sense. It feels very prequels in the way that the storylines are just like, well, Anakin and Padme are married.
They'll somehow connect. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out 2 years from now.
Somehow.
Yeah. It feels very prequels in the sense that they're just like throwing shit in the wall, like shit to the wall, and they're like, hey, we'll bring that one back.
I mean, it's like I think we all collectively have kind of deciphered a lot of the Disney Plus shows, animation and live action, except for possibly Andor and Kenobi are all pushing towards the narrative of this somehow Palpatine returned. That line is going to be fleshed out, and like Bad Batch is already doing that. Mando is already doing that. Like those two, and I really honestly don't find it interesting because it's kind of a no-brainer that the finale would be happening around episode 5 of Mando. So it's kind of like, oh, so what are we gonna get with those 3 episodes that connect to each other? Because that there's probably a reason for that.
I firmly believe that Dr. Hemlock is a predecessor to Dr. Pershing, if not his direct mentor.
Wait.
That makes
sense.
Okay, yeah.
What if Christopher Lloyd's character shows up in Bad Batch because he's supposed to be an Imperial scientist?
Christopher Lloyd. Are you talking about I'd like to see the baby? That guy?
Doc Brown from Back to the Future. It's supposed to be in Mando season 3.
Oh, is he really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's supposed to be an Imperial scientist in Mando season 3. He was announced a year ago.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So let's put the guy. What was the guy's name?
Christopher Lloyd.
No, the Bad Batch doctor.
Dr. Hemlock.
Dude, he could fit a name Hemlock. He says Great Scott. That'd be funny as hell.
Well, no, that's
Great Scott.
Just like a throwaway.
I don't think his character is gonna show. I don't think they're gonna get it that connected. But I do really truly think that there's a reason that these are both airing at the same time.
Yes.
I don't think the Disney overlords just like overlooked that. I really think that there's clues in Bad Batch that you're going to have to understand to get things in Mando, because that would it feels like they are working towards. And
Hunter
I
shows up
think
in the Mandalorian.
Could you imagine
Tamora Morrison with like the face paint?
Imagine.
I would get so many phone calls. Everybody would be like, "Are you okay?" And I'd be like, "No, because I'm dead."
See, I always thought that Omega was gonna show up in live action somewhere.
See,
I feel like that makes more sense.
Yeah, I feel like that too.
I really thought, honestly, deadass, I really thought she was showing up in Book of Boba Fett. I had that on my like bingo card. I really truly
We
did.
had a lot of things in our Boba Fett.
Yeah,
bingo
yeah.
card.
Kira
Thrawn.
showing us. Kira.
Thrawn.
Called Clone Cast. It's not called Chiss Cast.
Well, I will have to say though, the fact that there's a very high possibility right now that Crosshair is on Mount Tantus is just really itches a part of my brain that I just really never thought would get scratched.
I mean, at least at high chance. Like as soon as I saw the doctor, I was like, oh, he's on Mount Tantus. Oh, they're brainwashing him. Oh, they're dragging him to go fight Omega.
Yeah,
See,
because
okay, after thinking about it, so everybody, I've noticed a lot of discussion online. Everybody's talking about, oh, they're going to send Crosshair after Omega.
Well, that would make sense with Alanis's
Do
Death
they-
Trooper.
But also, do they know that she's still alive?
Yes. Because they say it in the Lama says, if you find the girl.
Yes,
But like, as far as they know, in their records, she died on fucking Camino whenever Tapoca City fucking.
Officially, yes. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure all of them are like, yeah, 99
Suspicious.
still out
Yeah.
there.
Also,
Like-
I could see them when they brainwash Crosshair, him breaking and then
Yeah,
revealing
that could be it
information.
too.
Bro, I think the breaking, or again with my Wolf/Cody theory, they do, one of them catches Omega, brings him to the facility, and Crosshair is like in the final stages. Because I really don't think that they would have built up Crosshair's like I'm breaking free moment
Yeah.
to
He's not
shatter it
soaring.
that
not
quickly.
flying.
So I really don't think that Crosshair is going to go full, Death Trooper brainwash, but I think he's going to come close, and that's going to be like the dramatic moment.
Do you think it's
Yeah.
Omega who snaps him out of it? I think that's a possibility because remember
yeah,
their connection.
most
their
likely.
Their
Yeah.
connection in the last episode of season 1. Like,
I'm just
I know
thinking
you're
like
not bad.
narratively
Yeah,
because
that
I
makes
have
so
like
much
my
sense.
prediction hat on.
You have
and
your
I feel
English
like-
writer hat
Yeah.
on. That's what it
Yeah,
really is.
and I feel like narratively that is what makes the most sense, especially like all of their conversations back on Camino.
Yep.
I think that would make the most sense.
Agreed.
But also, now that we know the Badge has some beef with Sid, more now than ever, what if Omega gets a reward put on her head
Oh, and Sid
and
turns
Sid
him in.
sees that and turns them in?
I could also see Sid just cutting them off.
Ooh.
Or what if Sid's the one that puts the marker saying,
Yeah,
Like,
like this is where
for
they
real.
are.
like,
Remy, that's
for-
a really high possibility.
Because
Yeah,
I
because-
feel like that
yeah.
was like a really big thing that like everybody celebrated the fact that the Badge finally stood up to Sid, but also she has so much power over them that like
Yeah.
people aren't like talking about. Like she can literally get them killed like that.
Also-
Instantly.
Yeah.
Also, it goes back to the meme that we have on Pod Ones of like they drop the hint of like, oh, you shouldn't really trust Sid. Sid's this really bad person, and they just don't go back to it. They're like, oh, we're just gonna drop this in the middle of the season, and they just never touch it again. It's like,
Yeah.
why would you
I
set that
mean,
up?
I feel like there's a lot of times where we see Sid not being a good person, but
I mean, shit.
there's-
But like season 1, she sends them in for the to steal that other guy's
Well, her
cargo.
entire thing is extortion.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
I love Sid because hashtag girl boss, but like
Yes.
I don't think Sid was ever a good person. I think
no.
she had a little soft spot for Omega, but by soft spot I mean like a little divot in the metal armor. And the time that she was nice to Omega, she was using her for money. She was using Omega
literally
for
was
gambling.
off this child.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
think Sid really ever had the Bad Batch's interest in mind. Like,
No.
I think of all people, Remy would remember this. Do you remember like early 2012? It was like the Avengers Tower fix, and it was like Hawkeye in the vents, Thor with the Pop Tarts, right? And that's
Yes,
kind of
yes.
skewed the characterization of the Avengers for a decade after.
Yes.
I think fanfic has a surrounding Sid and like her role within the Bad Batch has definitely, I think, skewed a lot of people's characterization of her, because in
Oh,
just the fics that
1000%.
I've read, she's like the mom,
Yeah.
you know?
1,000%.
And And I think that if we look at it from like the canon perspective and not like the like friends to lovers trope, she's the villain. She's the villain.
She's not good.
At all.
At all.
At
It's
all.
literally just the fact that like the batch didn't have anywhere else to go. Echo was like, hey, I kind of know this place. Like I've heard about it. And so they just ended up there and they don't have anywhere else to go. And she's giving them some money, but not enough for them to break away and live on their own. So it's kind of like she's not a good
Capitalism.
person. Literally capitalism.
The C instead stands for
For
capitalism. This entire thing was Dave Filoni's pet project where he was like, you know what? George wrote the original trilogy about the Vietnam War. I'm going to write this about capitalism. Landlords. That's the analogy he's actually going.
Sid is a landlord. If I had she's literally, if I had to like compare Sid to anybody, I'd be like, she's a landlord. Like, you ever had one of those?
Yeah, you leave like a single hair left in the sink after like fucking moving out day. She's like
$1,000.
Yeah. She's like, security deposit, not getting it back.
Gone.
You renovated it to look nicer? No, you changed it. Taking it. Gotta strip it down.
She like takes a hammer and like hits holes in the wall. She's like, these
You leave a
here.
bag of chips on the floor, and she's like, "No, not allowed. $50 extra charge."
You know what? I don't know what just reminded me of this. You know that like boss skit, the Kylo Ren one, the SNL one.
Yeah,
that was Sid.
I heard Kylo Ren was shredded.
But like, could you imagine Sid like going around with a Bad Batch for like an adventure, and they're like talking shit on Sid, and she's like in the back, like, you know, Sid works really hard. Sid like, works hard to make this ship a home.
I just imagine it like hyper reality television, office style comedy, and it's just like you keep cutting to their point of view, and Hunter's like, I don't know why we're still with her.
Yeah.
Literally, like, I'm just saying, nobody listens to fucking Hunter. I love him with my whole heart, but like, you are the sergeant, and these people do not fucking listen to you, my guy.
Look, my Bad Batch joke about it being a D&D game still works. Hunter is just the NPC that the DM has because the player for Hunter left, so he has no agency in the story.
No.
Same with Crosshair. Crosshair's just like, I guess I'll just join the Empire for an arc. You guys can have fun. And Echo and Tech are like, I guess I'm the main characters now.
I do have to say the Tokyo Drift Tech episode I thought was really amazing.
Yes.
Yes. I like that one is a standout episode of the season. The Cody one, and I think Outpost. I know Luke's gonna hate this. I thought the Gunji one was cool, but again, it just felt like we're gonna throw him in here.
Thank you. I was about to break up that the Gunji episode, literally nothing happened.
No, nothing did happen, but I fucking enjoyed it. Okay, sue me.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. That's the thing. It's not saying that it wasn't enjoyable. I think the way that I have to look at it did bring things to the story. I'm not like discrediting it as an episode, but I almost wish they set the season up to be so high stakes, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if they hadn't set that off from episode like 1 and 2, I think I would have viewed this season differently.
Yeah.
I also feel like with the Gunji episodes, it should have been an arc. I feel like it's just kind of them just leaving it there after one episode. I thought it was going to be something bigger with like the Bad Batch somehow bringing the Imperials to Kashyyyk, and like that's what causes like the like. It almost feels
like they were just like, hey, we've got this unused footage that we were going to use. Let's just use that in an episode. That's basically what it feels like.
And then like we never touched what happened with Gunji and like what happened to the rest of that squad after Order 66. Even though I don't want more Order 66 stories, like that's still on the table.
Yeah.
But... No, we don't want more fucking Order 66. Please.
Yeah. It's just I think if they presented each of the episodes to me not connected, I would have been like, oh my god, this is so cool. But because it was meant to tell a story, and a story that was supposed to like be like crazy and wild, it just fell off at parts. Like the whole Finding of the Gems, like Legends of the Hidden Temple style episode.
Yeah, didn't care for that one.
And like I get it, like the whole like Fallen Order monster thing. But again, it just felt like they were like, all right, we got to get the story along. Let's put something in that the fans can talk about for a week.
But it's also like, my thing is, it's like, I want it to be like Rebels, where it's like, where these small episodes that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things have these big effects. Because like, I thought Luke and I were like, oh, this is what's going to get the Empire on their back, and this is what's going to send Crosshair after them. We thought it was going to be this massive explosion, and then, oh, it was just they found treasure.
I mean, it still could. They could still be playing the long game with Gunji. You know what I mean? They could always like
Yeah.
And but like
the treasure episode, that's the one we're talking about.
Oh, the treasure one. Yeah, the treasure one. I was like thinking to myself, I was kind of, damn, what the hell? Why are we doing this?
But
like,
you know what? The one thing I will say though, I always feel weird talking about like a series before it's over.
Yeah.
Because I do truly think that because we still have a good chunk of episodes to go.
Yeah.
Before it ends. And I think once we have it as an anthology, it's gonna change everyone's tune about the, grant, 3 or 4 episodes in the beginning that were like, when you have the last 7, being pretty on par. So I always feel like guilty being like, it's like episodic this season and it bounces around and this shit doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna eat my words in a month and a half.
I hope for the series finale they pull a Purgles where we're bitching about these throwaway episodes and they come back into play in the finale.
Gunji just shows up out of nowhere.
Gunji shows up, like the Fallen Order machine shows up. We're like, what the hell?
Oh, we all just decided to show up at the end.
It's like the She-Hulk finale.
But here you go.
It's like the She-Hulk finale where it's like, wait, what are you doing here? Wait, what are you doing here? This is like lazy writing.
Kevin Feige is a machine. It's not an actual person.
God. Yeah, it is hard talking about a show and kind of figuring out how you feel about it really before the season's over, because it's hard to, I mean, there's so much more that we could enjoy that we could not enjoy, so on and so forth. I mean, obviously, like, I love every episode, but I also just love the Bad Batch, so like I don't care. Like, I'm like, cool, I love this. And then of course we have like the Chuchi episode where I fucking lost my mind and cried because that was so good, because that just meant so much to me as a Clone fan, being like, fuck yeah. Like,
Clone's right, bitches.
Yeah. So like it's fun to like have those types of episodes in it while also having other episodes that are more specifically meant for like character development or just because, hey, we need to put this episode in before we have this fucking shit show of an arc that's gonna happen the next 3 episodes.
My thing with the Bad Batch is, like, I was talking about this earlier in like at a call. I was like, I feel like my issue is the season limits. I feel like when they set 16 episodes, sometimes they don't know how to fill it properly. Like with Rebels, I feel like they knew how to fill the 20 episodes and where to put it. I've always said for the longest time, Bad Batch knows what their end game is and where they're starting. They just don't know how to interweave it and get there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely fair. I mean, also there are things like the tech episode with him Tokyo drifting. Like they owe Sid a favor, or Sid owes them a favor. Like that's like that was really important. That I think a lot of people were like, oh, this is like a filler episode, blah 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 blah. But it's like they just saved her life. Like that's something that has to come back at some point.
Wouldn't call that episode a filler because of because of that, and B, the Sid foreshadowing. Like there's no way that was filler. But like the treasure one, I'm like, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nobody got development. Nobody went anywhere.
The other fact is that when what Remy just said, she owes them a favor. And I feel like that them losing the possible Marauder episode was the perfect opportunity for them to call in that favor. And even then, Sid was like, "Oh, I don't know, it's gonna take me a week." Like, I still feel like that favor has to be called in. Yeah, and eventually it will, whether it's for the good of the group or for the bad of the group.
Yeah,
that I feel like that favor is a big important part of this season. It might not seem like it, but it definitely has the possibility to be.
Yeah, I mean, we're literally talking about how Sid is the villain, and like the villain owes our heroes a favor.
A favor.
Like that's fucking big.
Yeah.
Now, is
And
it gonna be good? Probably not, but
I still like the theory of wait, hold up. And this is maybe like a throwaway mention in Rogue One, but one of the like orders on like the like Stardust and that kind of stuff was Mark Omega. What the hell does that mean?
Somehow Palpatine returned.
No, but like literally, it's like why would you like mention
Omega
that being
And
Omega?
then-
Obviously,
and
they
then
didn't think of the
make a-
character. They didn't think of the character back then, but it's still like something that you're like, why would you mention something like that? And like,
Pax
Right.
they brought back one of them for Bad Batch season 1
Yeah.
because of the group. That's what they call them. I forget what. Someone's gonna be in the comments be like, "Oh, this is the name of all of them," but like, I know they brought back one of them, so it's like there's a possibility they could bring back another one with Omega.
Well, I mean, they did the hyperspace tracking also in there as well.
Yeah,
And then they
hyperspace
used it in the Last
tracking,
Jedi.
Mark Omega, Stardust, and then the other one that was for the in season
Dark
1.
Dark Saber.
No, it was. Let me just look this
I'm
up.
pretty sure it is. But we're getting off topic.
but I mean, on the subject of like character development and things like that, I also think we keep forgetting that like we are definitely getting like more seasons of Bad Batch. I think we're all like
right,
always
yeah.
like freaked out that like Bad Batch is gonna end because like we didn't even know that we were getting Bad Batch, let alone
Yeah.
2 seasons. And I keep trying to think of Rebels and like the Ghost Crew, right? Because like there's like 5 members of the Ghost Crew plus Callus and Thrawn. Well, Thrawn doesn't really have any character development. Rebels, let's be real. Anyway,
No, that's all in the background in the book.
so like, and if you think about it, like if you think of like the first 2 seasons of Rebels, yes, we have some character development for all of them, but it doesn't really happen until you have all 4 seasons.
Right. Yeah.
But I also feel like with Rebel season 1, like I always talk about this, like the episode where they get the Melu run, like that came back into the finale. Like, and people get,
Yeah.
oh, that's the throwaway episode, or the Purgles and that kind of stuff. Like, I still feel like, well, yes, there were throwaway episodes. Rebels did perfect that formula, and I feel like Bad Batch are not using it. It's a waste.
But I mean, I don't even know if they're not using it yet.
Yeah. I think that's like kind of more what Alanis meant of like it can still come back because like we know that we're getting more seasons of Bad Batch, whereas we didn't at first, but now we do. So now there could be more things that are going to connect that we just don't realize yet.
Like why we have a Bad Batch panel celebration this year. They're announcing season 3.
Yeah. And it's so, and I mean, I think that's a really good point, and I definitely agree with you, Alanis, because that was one of my biggest pet peeves during season 1 is whenever people were like, oh, like they're only focusing on Hunter and Omega. They're only focusing on this. Like that was literally the start of the story. Like they had to. Like the start of the story was Hunter being like, hey, look, I brought this child. I'm going to protect her. Like,
no,
like,
yeah,
of course they're going to focus on that. And people were so upset about it. And they were like, well, why don't we have moments with Tech? And why don't we have more moments with Crosshair? Which we very luckily
we got a lot at the end.
Yeah, we did get a lot at the end. And but just saying stuff like that, or like, oh, why didn't Rex mention something about Fives to Echo? Because why would he? First of all, I understand that's something that a lot of people really want, and I would love it too to have. Give me the angst, give me all of it, give me the fucking brotherhood trauma. But why would he? Whenever they are like very much focused
on a mission,
like Rex isn't just gonna be like, oh, by the way, hey.
Talk about our dead brother.
Hey, Fives tried to tell us, man. We just didn't listen.
Who would have thought?
I get the point, but I also get like there was with that episode and with the Order 66 in particular, that also was your chance to do it, and they just didn't do it. Like that, if you had a chance, that was that season 1 episode. So I get why people said it, but no, now it's just like, why would Rex do it? It's stupid.
Yeah. Like, and again, I understand why people are upset, and I would very much love it. I read fucking fics all the time because I have to cry, and so I read about like if that were to happen and Rex were to tell Echo about Fives.
But I feel like if that were to happen, it would be like if they get their own solo episode. You know,
Mhm.
I don't think that they would talk about it in front of the group because like they
No.
are soldiers at their very core.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're about to have, these heart to hearts in the middle of action.
Literally.
Um,
Can you imagine like Rex is just fucking trauma dumping onto
Bam,
Echo
bam,
in
bam,
front
bam,
of
hey.
Yeah, just like they're just taking out stormtroopers, and all of a
yeah,
sudden Rex is
Ahsoka
like,
and I, we had to
"Hey,
kill the entire platoon.
yeah, you know Jesse? Yeah, that motherfucker's dead.
Yeah.
Don't
Those
know where
five.
Hicks is, but want to see where their helmets are?
Oh, you know the person we used to work for. Apparently, Maul's saying the Sith Lord wants him for some reason. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know
it's
whatever
a
happened to
whole
General
thing.
Skywalker, but it couldn't have been good.
But it couldn't have been good. No, literally, like it's just so funny to me. But it is one thing that did piss me off a lot last season is people just being like, oh, why aren't we getting all of this and blah blah blah. And especially at the end, we knew that there was gonna be a season 2 because
Yep.
obviously they're not gonna just end it like that.
I remember those
So-
discourses. Everyone's like, "It was a limited series. It's gonna be one season." And I'm just like,
Yeah.
"What the
And then like 8
hell?"
hours later, they were like, season 2.
Yeah, like
Uh,
because
Do you-
why would it be a limited? Why it wouldn't make sense for the Bad Batch to be just one season.
Especially being the one animated show that they have right now on a consistent basis.
Exactly.
Like it doesn't like you don't like animation from a financial standpoint is a lot easier to do than cranking out like 4 or 5 different live action shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's pretty cheap compared to doing a full. Imagine if they tried to do Tamora Morrison in 4 different. Like think
I
about
would
that.
want, but I want to
logistically.
see it though. I just want to see Tamora Morrison try to play 4
That
different
would have been
characters.
Can
so
please.
funny. But like think
Can.
about that from a logistics standpoint. Like Bad Batch has a compelling story,
Mhm.
and if it follows the way that Rebels does, we're gonna have at least 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess 4 seasons because I think if they were to go over 4 seasons, it would be like
It's kind of close to
starting to
the
creep.
original trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is such an important time that we are seeing.
Yeah.
Like, it's honestly the reason why The Bad Batch is my favorite show because I love seeing the in between shit.
Mhm.
I'm like,
Mhm.
what the fuck happened between the prequels and the originals? Like, how did we get here? And so then we got Rebels and Mando and Boba Fett and everything. And it's like, okay, well, what happened between Mando and Rebels? Like, what was going on there? But what also happened before that? So I love seeing what is happening and just seeing how the Empire is starting. And we're starting to see the different things that they do. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, in the latest episode, Stormtrooper armor, but it's not made for clones. So obviously, like I fucking love that shit. And I think it's so important that we get that for the storytelling purposes.
I've always
Yeah.
said. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say that this episode I think did a great job of really bringing the human effect of phasing out the clones
Yes.
that I think
Yes.
we were missing for a very long time.
Yes.
And I feel like Kenobi with that one throwaway. Well, it's not even a throwaway scene. Now that you have that with Bad Batch with this season, like it makes that scene a lot more impactful from what we're seeing now. And I feel like that the number one goal of Bad Batch, obviously Mount Tantus, all of that, but I feel like the true number one purpose of the story is to show how much the Empire does not give a shit about these clones.
Mhm.
And the phasing out, I feel like, is the most important part for the next 2 seasons. Let's say it goes 4. They are telling this is the long game. This is like we started seeing it when they destroyed Camino. That was the first step. The second step is them not making armor for the clones. And the third one is just all out, just we're done. Like there's no use for you. And you start seeing that in this episode specifically. Like Nolan's like, I don't like used equipment. It's like
I mean, we literally said Nolan was Joffrey the entire reaction.
Oh yeah.
You can't change your mind.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's definitely very important to see these things too. And I definitely agree that I think it has a much bigger impact on the clone that we saw in Kenobi,
Yeah.
because not only did the Empire, the government that they worked for, didn't care about them. Now nobody fucking cares about them.
Mhm.
Nobody
real
cared
life.
about them before. Yeah, I mean, the Republic didn't give a fuck about the clones.
Nope.
They literally have 70. I think about the fact, like, why was 79s built all the time? Obviously for revenue, but like, is it Republic funded? Like, why was 79's built? Why do these clones have to go to a clone specific bar? Obviously, maybe can they go other places? Like, that's the kind of stuff that I want to know, because it shows how much they didn't care about the clones beforehand, and now they really don't care.
A certain point of view, Clone Wars. We need it. Just
Don't
have
we
a story
have that?
of
Don't
a
we
guy.
already have that though, Luke?
Not a 79 story.
Not a 79 story, but we do have a
Well, that's
Clone
like
Wars anthology book.
it's like just different points of view. It's sort of like it, but I'm like, that would be a story that you could tell. Like, I know we're getting Return of the Jedi.
In my eyes, because obviously Star Wars plays a lot on like the Vietnam vibe.
Yes.
Mhm.
You had these soldiers coming home from Vietnam, like literally being like spit on and shit.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of like VFW and American Legions like popped off, because that's the only place that they could go where they could be around people like them. Because you're in a normal bar and let's just say you're wearing a military hat or something, like could be an issue. And I always saw 79s as that.
Yeah.
Not
It's a safe play. It's a safe
yeah,
play.
and I kind of feel like I don't think 79 started off as a clone bar or was built as a clone bar. I think it was probably just a rundown fucking no one went in. And when the clones found out that like, hey, they could go here and they're safe here, and the employees who aren't, clones will respect us, then all right, this is a clone bar now.
They made it their own.
Yeah, like in the way that like bars become biker bars. Like they're not built with like the intention to be like, we're gonna be a biker bar.
Yeah.
Like, it just happens. And like I always thought
some bars do that though.
I don't know if a lot of bars are like, we're biker friendly. They have like a fucking
I just imagine
store.
like we're biker friendly. People show up with like actual like bicycles, not motorcycles. We're biker friendly.
Well, man, you gotta watch out.
There's nowhere to charge my Prius. You said biker friendly. Those are environmentally friendly bar.
The Mormons show up.
No, Thursday night, tricycle night. Everybody knows it. The tricycle night.
What about unicycle night?
Juniors. It's giving Weenie Hut General.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not giving Salty Spittoon.
Oh, God.
Also, I was gonna say this during
the Salty Spittoon.
The whole like discourse about like the in between stuff. I should have said it out loud, but again, I didn't want to interrupt. I always thought that Bad Batch was. So I always say Rebels is the continuation of Clone Wars for people that care about the Jedi and Force story. Bad Batch is the continuation of Clone Wars for people that care about the clone story. And those are like your kind of two diversions.
Yeah. I definitely agree, and I love them both. I mean, I enjoy the Jedi, and I enjoy learning about the Skywalkers because I love Anakin, and I will always love Anakin. But I want to know about everybody fucking else in the galaxy. Star Wars is so big, and we see all these characters and all these people, and I want to see them, and I want to know who they are. Like, I'll see like a fucking alien walking in the background. I'm like, what the fuck is their story? Like, why are they on Coruscant?
I've always said this. I want a story about a fucking cashier on Coruscant.
Literally, just like
someone
normal
working
fucking life.
In like a mid-tier level bodega. And I want to know like the accounts of the motherfuckers that walk in that door. That would satisfy me more than any movie trilogy of like, what is the life of a cashier? What is the life of like a bus driver?
Yes.
Like, what are they doing? I want to know.
The cab driver that takes 5s to 79s. I want to know about him.
Who is that?
What's his life? He's listening to like some fucking space galactic rap music. I want to know what that is.
Who is singing? Who is singing?
Who is that?
So here's my pitch. So we're getting Return of the Jedi, certain point of view. Give me, because I know you're gonna get. I guarantee you're gonna get a chapter of of a person's point of view from the ending of Return of the Jedi from different planets. You're gonna get a Tatooine planet, Naboo. You're gonna get Coruscant.
Well, I mean, you can't.
Wouldn't it be? Hold on.
Aftermath.
Well,
Oh,
no,
yeah, you
I'm
can't get
saying no, yeah, but I mean like from a different perspective, like a random ass person on the streets. Let's just say they go into 79s and they're celebrating. Like we have a story where it's all like, oh yeah, this used to be like it's still now it's been run down for the whole 25 after.
I thought Luke was gonna be like, well, Return of the Jedi from a certain point of view, Rex, because that's obviously what we're gonna get. I thought he was gonna go that route.
No,
Oh,
but I do think you're gonna get a Rex story.
Well, yeah, I think that everybody made some solid points. I definitely agree. Does anybody want to talk about there's specific favorite episode? Let me rephrase this. Does anybody have an absolute favorite episode so far within the season?
Outpost.
Okay.
Clone conspiracies.
That's a close second.
Yeah, Clone
close
Conspiracies
second.
is probably my favorite. I think I'm gonna have to agree with Hereth on that one. But the Outpost is also up there.
I will say I love the Outpost. I'm trying to like figure out how to word this.
Without sounding like a crosshair simp.
No,
that is
that's
also
why I like the episode. No, I like the episode because I think this is one of the very first times that we see a redemption story that is not tied to another person.
Agreed.
And that in redemption stories, that is what I've been preaching for and why I have been lately so anti-redemption. Because it just feels like the same thing. Like you have, quote unquote, evil character sees or meets someone, and then evil character turn nice.
Yeah.
And like, everyone, like obviously Crosshair is like callous coded, obviously. But what I truly like, and even if you look at like Hux, right? You have Hux who, again, villain, meets Kylo Ren, becomes Fulcrum. Like there's always a kind of transition, kind of a line. You see it with Vader, everyone. And with Crosshair, like no one has shown him any extraordinary kindness.
No.
Or really anything that would prompt him to be like, oh, I want to leave because of this person. Mm-hmm. If anything, Crosshair's been the listener. He's listening to these people's, troubles and traumas, and he's taking that on and he's digesting and internalizing that for himself. And unlike, Callus, who has seen all of the shit that goes on and he's causing it, and then he sees it through Zeb, and that's kind of his push, where Crosshair's doing it on his own. He's making these decisions organically, and I think that is what is making his story so compelling.
Up until this episode. Because I feel like him having that conversation with Mayday.
No, but it's a conversation, though.
Yeah.
It's not in the same, like, Zeb and Kalish trauma dump.
No.
It's a guy telling a story, and also with Zeb, you also have to tie in that he gave Kallus the warm rock and helped him up and bandage his legs. Mayday was just being like, yeah, dude, this shit fucking sucks.
Yeah, like, and even the fact that, like, Zeb and Kallus were around each other a lot more and a lot longer, so they had they had more interactions leading up to that, whereas Crosshair and Mayday literally just met. And the fact, I think a huge character arc for Crosshair in this episode was the fact that he knew that Mayday was going to die. He knew, but yet he still picked him up and he still took him back to the base. And even in season 7 of Clone Wars, whenever we first meet Crosshair, the number one thing that we learn about him is that he does not like regs. Yeah, he's like, fuck the regs.
Yeah, like the regs.
And so the fact that he not only confided in Mayday on what Clone Force he was a part of, but also helped him back to the base whenever, first of all, he was like, I would just leave him for dead. Like, why carry around dead weight? And Mayday was like, but he's also a reg, and he still went out of his way to carry him back. And I think that was the first moment that I was like, okay, Crosshair's realizing things. Like this
Mhm.
is really big, because honestly, I thought that he was just gonna leave Mayday there, and I thought he was gonna go back to the base and be like, "Hey, he needs help," like he's fucking dead. But no, he carried him all the way back. So that was a really big thing that honestly I don't see enough people talking about. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've only seen TikTok edits. That's the only people I've ever seen like put focus on it.
Well,
yeah,
and it's also you also like y'all hit the nail on the head. Like it's
And I also think the significance of if Crosshair chip was actually out, I don't know. I feel like that was just a weird throwaway. I still don't completely believe it. But let's just even assume that his chip was out. The fact that he is consciously making the split decision to leave a place that he left his entire life for is crazy. Because even like, I keep bringing up Agent Callus, like, besides the backstory that I have written for him, we don't know anything about him.
just
We
selfish
don't know.
plug to the fans.
AO3 release win.
Oh wait, Remy, do you
That's
have
the
an
running
AO3
gag
picked
if I'll
out?
ever actually fucking
I
post
don't.
it.
I don't have
well,
one picked out today.
I guess we'll just use that one.
Well, I think that wraps up our Bad Batch season 2 thus far review. We'll have to do this again whenever the season's over, so that way we
Yes.
can all
Yes,
After-
I will
after-
do it.
After
Yeah.
celebration and
Yeah,
stuff
we'll
like
come
that.
back and we will discuss our thoughts on the series as a whole at that point, which is crazy to talk about because I don't want it to end. But anyway.
Mood.
We just all give Remy leaks of the Bad Batch season 3 panel, being like,
No,
"This
I
is gonna happen.
fully
This is
expect to
gonna
be on
happen."
Oh, I called
FaceTime.
Remy immediately afterwards.
Yes, she
Yes.
did.
Like, immediately.
Yes.
Can confirm.
I wish I was in that room with you guys,
Oh
because
my
from what
God.
Luke describes, Alanis
It
is
was
super
literally
feral.
Alanis was like her jaw dropped instantly, and then the trailer started. She started punching me, and I'm like, "Good God, would you stop punching me?"
I literally was
I am right. I am literally right here. I can see what you're watching.
The
I'm
second
also
that-
watching it.
literally when I saw Cody, I literally was like, no fucking way.
And then
And then-
punched me.
I did. And I was literally in such shock, and then they were like, we're gonna watch it again, and I was like,
Because in the Galaxy stage, all 8 of us were together. So it was just 8 of us in a row, and we were
I
all
think it was
freaking
just
out.
us, wasn't it? Oh no, Ari was with us.
Ari was with us.
Ari was with us. Yeah.
And some dude in front of us who was convinced that Gunji was someone else, and we were like, no,
Fucking
it's
idiot.
not.
Gunji, the fact that you
Is
called
that Buryaga?
Shout out to that guy being an absolute fucking.
Oh no,
moron.
it was Buryaga. He was like, that's Buryaga. It's Buryaga, and we were like,
Dude.
Wrong
Negative.
era.
Bestie, have you not read the Fallen
Fallen Star.
I was like, nope, that's not right.
You tried, close enough.
I was like, you know what? That is a Wookiee.
He is in
You're
fact
not
a
technically
Wookiee
wrong.
Jedi.
Yeah, you're not wrong,
But
But you're
you're wrong.
but you're wrong.
This is my
Alright.
area. You're
Alright,
in my
let-
zone now.
Let me list my shit off. You can follow me at Not a Kyber on all social medias. You just watch me do dumb shit there. You can follow me at Discovering the Galaxy. That is where I talk about my Star Wars elective. If you are attending Star Wars Celebration, April 9th from 3:30 to 4:30 London time on the university stage, I will get to talk about my class. Luke, Brooke at Bedazzler, and Chris at Star Wars Lawyer will also be with me. That'll be super cool. You can follow me at Is Agent Callus Back. It's a countdown for Agent Callus. Oh, and I have a podcast, Sith Faced. We do shit whenever we want, so you should listen.
Okay, Hereth.
I mean, Hereth Productions on TikTok and Instagram. Hereth_ it's on Twitter. And you can find me here on Pod Ones, even though it feels weird to say because I don't feel like we're on Pod Ones.
You're still on Podwans.
Yes,
You're just
we are.
on my version of Podwan.
I love how Luke has been on every Pod Ones like affiliated podcast. He's been on Pod Ones. He's been on They Fly Now when he got here, and now he's on Clonecast.
Love it. Sorry, Luke.
It's almost like
Luke
I
owns the
am,
channel,
like,
and
the whole reason. Come on.
it's like we said during that episode, Luke, you're just Bob Iger. You just bought us.
No, because Bob Iger's getting shit on, and I'd rather not get shit on right now. Okay,
Man,
I
that's
constantly get shit on in my real life.
I was
I'd
gonna
rather-
say that. There's the
Yeah,
kicker. That's what I was
yeah.
waiting for.
I would
That's what I was
rather
waiting
not.
for.
I would rather not have another thing to get shit on for. Beautiful woman, my DMs are not open. Sorry.
I was like, how the fuck are you gonna finish that sentence? I don't. We can watch that playback of my fight or flight that you almost just.
No,
got.
Luke, you better full straight into Alanis' face.
I actually might now. I actually have to set that.
Oh, that was funny.
You can find me at the Pod Ones. You can check us out every Thursday night for our Rebels shows, reactions
Char.
every Wednesday night, and then Bad Batch every Thursday morning. Remy, I have to talk to you about the finale because we have an idea that we're floating around. But yeah, you can find us at Pod Ones on all social medias. If this is your first time being here, like, comment, and subscribe. Even if it is for Remy, it helps out everybody involved.
Do it for me.
Yeah,
Don't
do
do
it for
them.
Remy. Don't do it.
Don't
for
do
me.
it for
Don't
Luke.
do it. Don't do it. Don't
Luke
do it for
asks
me.
that every
Do
show.
it.
It's
Do
too
it for this.
much.
Do it for. Damn it.
Also, I love how Luke always does it at the end.
Damn it. This person.
I also love Luke. I always love how you do it at the end. Like retention says you do it at the beginning, not at the end of the video, because by the time we get to this point, most people, no offense, have probably already clicked off.
Well,
That's fine. Guess what? The real ones will know.
exactly. So, and you can of course follow me at Feral Remy on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. On Twitter, it's _Feral Remy _. And then if you would like to follow the podcast to keep up on all the updates, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, both at CloneCastPod1. And thanks, guys, for coming on and talking about the Bad Batch with me.
Yep.
Very fun.
Anytime. My AirPod did fall off a second ago. But
Oh no. R.I.P.
thanks, Remy.
R.I.P. Well, let's wrap it up. Just remember, they're not just clones to us, and they're not expendable. See you next time.